All right, I'm here at the school. I said that I was gonna go into the school and I'm gonna ask whomever I have to speak to on how I can have a talk at the school. This is my old school, and I am scared shitless. I can feel the butterflies. Whew. I've actually been taught, like, seeing in my mind's eye the talk. Not just like talking to people about having to talk, but I've been seeing the talk, seeing the audience, all those kids waiting for this old dude to speak for some reason that they don't really understand. Well, I said I was going to do this. I'm going to do this. So wish me luck.
5 minutes later.
Okay. It's about 4 minutes, not even that, 2 minutes probably, since I spoke with you last. Now, I went in and I saw this person standing there, and she said that they're going in for a meeting, and so if I could come back in 15 minutes. I will go and have some breakfast in the meantime and calm my freaking nerves. I went in there and she said, "Hey," right, smiling a lot. I was like, "Hi, I have no idea whom I'm supposed to speak to, but I'm thinking the best place for that would be for the administration, because I'm going to talk to someone about the opportunity to have a talk and do some for harm reduction, basically, or preemptive work, I guess is the best way to translate that. She seemed very positive, but then again, she was like this hall monitor, so we didn't have those in my day. But now I've done that, so now I'm gonna go get some food, and then I'm gonna think about what exactly I want to say to these people, and then I'll go back to see where we can take this. Wish me luck.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
It is done. This was the first time I've actually had an interaction with people in the administration, people who have a certification within this whole education business. I got a lot, probably more than he thought that he gave me in terms of information, because it was stupid simple, actually. I just needed to know the angle of attack to see where I should go, basically, with a program. Because you see, I've been working with this for so long, and then he started to speak. It was like, really? What? No. It was first, you need something that you can sell to the school. I was like, what? I have that. And then I had to put that in the email. I was like, I know how to do that. But he was talking about things that I did not even consider. I didn't know that they existed. These programs they were using these stories. The heck was that? Stories in a cultural setting, and songs and all that. Hey, I'm learning the guitar. Who knows? Maybe I can create a song out of the story. But there is this governmental or this city-run thing, this city-run program that might have something for me now. Because as far as I could tell, the school is basically the lower rung. It's the lowest rung. So if I was going to have something, it would be better for me to go a few steps above and then come in from the government, or like the city or the municipality or the state. And then I sell my thing to the state. That has been my goal all along, that I can just act as an independent contractor or in partnership with one of these existing organizations, and then come in from that angle. So that's where I'm going now. Now this was the first step. My back hurts because I was so fucking straight. I don't know why. But now I'm going to the city, and then I'm going to see where I could go from there. Day 12, people! It's shaping up to be interesting.
A few inches later.
My neighbors are gonna have questions about that one. I have to update you right away. I couldn't wait. Right now, I felt like I was gonna send a voice note back to my friend to update him. But then I figured I should multitask the heck out of this, ride on this energy, and just update you. Because then I can update him by the same thing. Look at that. We had this idea during the winter because we have this pavilion, and it is amazing because in the summertime, I'm sitting in that, and then I see that. So it just creates a feeling, right? But that's not what I'm talking about now. That's not what I'm supposed to talk about. The update. Today, I took my friend, my tribe member, up on the challenge. I said last time we talked that I was going to go down on Monday, and I was basically going to go in and pitch my things to the school so that I could have talks. That was the idea. Go down there and start to share this message so that people can get helped, and then, inject some personal development into the youth. That was the idea. Just share my story, where I come from, and what has happened because of this mindset that I've been developed through the insights that I've learned, and how all of that happened, which of course, very often, almost exclusively, leads to psychedelics. Because that was the big, huge thing that happened to me, where I saw reality differently. So I could go way more into myself and learn the things that I had to learn. So I couldn't go down to the school and say this, of course. I mean, I'm not stupid. I might seem like that sometimes, but I'm not that short-sighted. But I figured there is going to be other things that I can do on the back end of this. Like, I've now planted a seed in my mind that I'm going to have talks in the school. That can develop, and usually things does develop when I start thinking about things. That's how, like, the Human Development Center, Valhalla, it started with a field much like this, with a frickin' bonfire, and that was it. Then it evolved into a fence around that, where people can leave their phones and all that stuff behind, go in there and meet actual people, and have some music and experiences, and just take a break from the normal life, the normal hectic chaos that we call reality today. And that evolved, and that evolved, and it evolved, right? So I went down to the city, and I said to the receptionist, I have a huge thing, and I have no idea what to ask you right now. I like to start dramatically. And then I look at her and like, I want to speak, have a talk in front of an audience, because I have this idea that I'm running this personal development program, and I want to see if I can help people more locally and nationally, and not just on the interwebs. And so she said, yeah, well, okay, cool. How do you have any people that you want to talk to? And then I was like, yes, I do. I did speak to this one guy, this principal of the school, and he said that I should talk to this other man in the city. So he gave me a name. Do you know this name? I gave her the name. she calls him up, and she's looking at his calendar, and it's very stocked. There's a lot of things going on in his calendars. He's a busy man. And then calls him up, and she says, "Hi, I have this guy called Seppola for you. Do you have time to meet him?" And then I saw him respond, but not in the words he said, but in her facial reaction as she heard it. And she was like, okay. And then she hangs up. And I was like, okay. So she says, he's running down here right now. He's gonna pop up at the end of the stairs and he's coming. Okay, that was fast. Yeah, that was fast, she says, right? But I also knew that, well, the universe, when you are ready to create, the universe will respond. It's just there. That's why it's there. It's for you to create whatever you want to create. So it made sense. Energy attracts more of the same. It was weird. It was a very weird experience. But he came, and I go over there. Hi, Seppola. Not that primal, but I shake his hand and I say, I have no idea where to start. Do you have a place to sit? And so we just sit down in the hallway, and then he's like, all right, so what can I help you for? Why are you here? I say, I have this idea. So I don't know where to start, but I can give you the vision, the overall idea of what we're trying to do. And so I start to talk, and I say, the Human Development Center, Valhalla, I'm talking about the personal development. I'm talking about holding these talks and just, giving a presentation, taking things more locally and nationally. Just the thing that I gave you. And after a while, he says, yeah, well, no problem. These are the prices. Because you are based here in the city, you're going to get the local native price. I was like, nice, that sounds awesome. And he continues to go down the list. He says, you need a VA technician, and you're going to need a sound technician. And if you want this and that and that and this, if you want to talk about psychedelics, you're going to need the light, maybe. I don't know what you're going to talk about. And then, you have four of these to choose between. And just, he went through the list. And I, probably much like you, reacted to the word psychedelic. Why did he mention that? Didn't say anything. He shows me around. He shows me the audience, the theater. And I'm like, holy shit. Now I'm scared shitless. I felt shitless scared earlier when I was thinking about talking to people about this, but now I'm seeing this. And now I'm scared shitless. Yep, I'm thinking this. I'm not saying that to him. And then I'm just asking, okay, you mentioned psychedelics. I have to ask, why? Why did you say that? He was like, oh yeah, well, I watched a few videos of you, and my mind was already blown. I was like, okay, because here's my plan. I will devote most, if not almost all, of my newfound awareness and consciousness, basically, my new way of seeing life and the things that have happened in my life, I would contribute that to psychedelics. I mean, that is by far the one thing that changed my reality. And I'm not sure how to present that, because I was focusing on personal development, because that's the thing that most people might know of. And I think that it is a precursor to actually going into the psychedelic therapy. I think you need to know yourself more. And I asked him, how do you think this is going to go if I was to share this information on a stage in Lyngdal, which is a very controversial Christian society or community, and with my story of having burnt down the only pub in town? I'm notorious in the city. I'm one of those that everyone knows, but I might not know them, if you know what I mean. So he said, that sounds like a good idea. You might have to expect some bad PR. And I was like, no, I don't think there is any bad PR here, because if there's bad PR, then first of all, they're just trying to milk the fear side of it. So if it's media, of course we expect them to talk about their awareness, because they want to sell the click. It's a business. So we get this, right? But then that is only going to create more traffic towards the content that is already aligned towards making people see, to actually educate them on these things. So in my mind, there was nothing as bad PR. It could not backfire, because if it did, I had the opportunity to talk to that person or government, or whatever you will have it. And I can talk to these people and fill the gaps, really make them see what they don't see, which is why they mock what they don't understand. And it just gave me a lot of, whew, holy shit, this is happening. But he also said that there's opportunities for groups. You can have groups. And I was like, holy shit. That means that we can get creative and we can create a show, a program, a thing out of this. It could be a performance art piece, if we will. There could be music, dance. Holy shit, we could have pyrotechnics. There's all these things are actually developing as I'm talking about it, which is a point that I'm going to get back to. I'm seeing all these things that could be done. And so I come home and I update my friend, and he says, holy shit! Right, a few messages where it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. And I'm like, holy shit, yeah, you're right. It does make sense though, because we have manifested this. And you only get the reactions that is directly dependent on what action you put into it. You know, energy attracts more of the same. The whole action demands a reaction. So if you do the things, you're going to get some reactions. And these reactions were awesome. So I'm like trying to land in the fact that what has happened today, as he updates me on what he has been doing. Oh, I sent your video to Dennis McKenna at McKenna Academy. I'm like, what? You did what? And I loved it, because that's the kind of shit that I don't do. I don't do those things because I doubt myself. Now here I have a person who really sees my view of things and who has become more of a partner, a tribe member who became a partner and just a co-creator of this whole thing. So he then expands on the what he's been doing, and he's been sending my mail address. Now, after I gave it to him, he has been sending a lot of stuff to different kind of influencers within the space. So Psyched Substance and a whole bunch of other people that is going to make massive impact if they see this thing and come along to talk about it and just share and raise awareness. So I was like, holy shit. As I was updating him and another friend of mine, I got another message from Ayahuasca, Norway. Because we have come in contact, and of course that happens when you talk about these things. The community might be huge, global, but there are still so many people who do not want to exercise this rituals, basically, to honor the medicine, and even fewer of those will honor it in public. They will not say to anyone that they have any association whatsoever to this medicine. And I was like, that makes sense. So it was just a matter of time until we got connected. Here's what's going to blow your mind even further now. He also said that he wants me to join one of his ceremonies in ayahuasca, and I agree. I think that because it is a different part of psychedelics that I haven't experienced, I need to do the ayahuasca when I feel called to it. But here's the flip side of that. My coach is now a ayahuasquero in Colombia, a facilitator of ayahuasca ceremonies. He's a shaman, and he has been trained by the indigenous people there to become a shaman. So I respect that to no end, because I also had a fuck ton of calls with my friend Keith, who passed away May last year. And we had over 100 different conversations about the differentialities, like the differences between ayahuasca and psilocybin mushrooms, and how the experience was, perceived by us and what we have been doing because of those experiences, and how we think, and the semantics of death and all those things, which is why I actually believe that I have communicated with Keith after his passing, because I felt the passing. And there's a whole fucking insane story behind that, but I'm not going to go into that right now. The thing is, Keith and me talked a lot about ayahuasca, and during those talks, I think I shifted my whole perspective, because that was around the time where I got into the whole cosmocentric worldview that I've mentioned a few times in the past videos. I haven't really expanded on it because there is so much, and it's like, it makes sense to me, but I'm not going to push my worldview on anyone else. But then, me and Keith talked about these things, and I saw all of the world, the reality, through energy. And then it made sense for me that I only focus on two things. And those are naturally grown plant medicine. Be it chaga, lion's mane, turkey tail, Amanita muscaria, whatever plant medicine you want to mention, I support those that grows from the earth, and which is, also a feature of Psilocybes melanceata, or Liberty Cap, the one psychedelic mushroom that I really have seen and experienced a lot of. So I've known and learned and studied everything that I could, basically, and it's an ongoing journey about this specific mushroom because it grows in my backyard. It grows in that nature right there. If I point just about right there, randomly, not even trying, I will point on a Liberty Cap during the season. So the fact that it grows right outside my door, and we have made it illegal because of, obvious reasons for those people in the community. But in 1971, it was made illegal. And before that, it was completely legal. And then they saw what it could cause. What happens when you lose the control that you want to have through the fear and the propaganda that you share, through the systemized information that is given from birth, from all sides of the media and government and all those things, and the systemized education system. Don't get me started on that again. Here's the thing. Because of that, I wanted to focus on that exclusively. And when it comes to ayahuasca, it grows in the Southern Americas. That's not here. So I have a very, very, very serious, I would say. I respect the fuck out of the relationship that I have with these compounds because I know the power of them, and I know that it is a power so much bigger than what I can comprehend. And if I'm going to take all of this seriously, that is especially one of those things that I have to really honor. So I'm going to take ayahuasca when I feel called to it, and I'm going to do it in Southern America, where it grows, like natively, because of the energetic connection that I'm sure it has with the area that it grows in. Just like the Liberty Cap here, it will feel energetically connected to where it got born, if you will. But with that said, I was invited to go to an ayahuasca ceremony with Ayahuasca Norway, who has become a good friend. During the relatively short time that I've known him, we have had some talks that just shows that we are two sides of the same coin. We see things very, very similar because of these medicine, and we want to create something together. Now, I have this community called Norwegian Flame on Facebook, which is now approaching 7,000 people, as I've been saying a few times these videos. With that foundation and a place for actual change to be had, if you actually communicate this in a good way, you have a springboard to whatever reality you want. If you take the social media reality that we live in as one of those proponents, if you will. Because I know how to use marketing and sales and social media to gain traffic. Now, he said, because this was something that we've been talking about, how can we make this better? And we talked about a podcast, and we're going to meet this week, hopefully, to do that podcast episode. But he also said that he's been invited by TV2, which is the national video, like TV channel here, to talk about this side of society. Because it's still a controversial topic. So they want to cover that because that amounts in money for them in terms of viewership and clicks. So he's going to show them an ayahuasca ceremony. And he said that, you can join if you want to join this journey and then, get your message spread out to raise some awareness around this and your passion and your topic and the medicine that we all fight towards. And I was like, holy fuck. Yes. So that's basically where I'm at right now. I started to film before he had even seen my response to his voice message where he mentioned this, that we should meet this week and we should talk about how we can share our stories on TV2, the national television network, to get the message across and raise awareness. And here I am, just arriving from the city where I've talked to and arranged for a fucking TED Talk-ish presentation. And then we have all these things with the McKenna Academy and all these things. The way I see it right now is we are on the verge. We are on the next wave after the 60s where they just made it illegal. Now we have so much research, so many experiences, so many actual testimonies from people who have seen this for more than a drug and who can actually attest to the fact that it is more than... The reason that it is even associated with the word drug is because we put it on the fucking, class 1, class A, whatever, list of drugs next to heroin. How fucking ignorant is that? Let's not go into that. Don't derail me. So here it is. We are now on the next wave. And the way I see it, Ram Dass and Terence McKenna and Timothy Leary and Paul Stamets, maybe not Paul Stamets in that regard, but he is a major influencer in this scene. All of those people made huge shifts in how reality is being conceived, like the consciousness of humans and what we're capable of, and just to get free from the bounds of whatever cultural society thing we have right now, where we are driven by fear and all that stuff. More people are anxious, more people are depressed, suicide rates up the fucking wazoo. All these things that could have been avoided if we just shared the truth. But now people don't want to share the truth because then they're stigmatized, right? Then they're hung out to dry. But I think that if you share this knowledge in a way that is actually understandable from the people who don't understand it yet, things can change. The reason I'm saying this right now is because this is how manifestation works for me. And I want to really share this with you so that you really see how you can do the same. As I said earlier, reaction happens according to an action. So you have to do an action and then get a response from that action. How you deal with the reaction is... Your reaction to the reaction is how everything is going to be happening from there on out. So I went down to the school today, that's one thing, that planted a seed for me to talk to the city. That planted the seed when I saw the whole audience thing and the theater. That planted a seed for how I could use this to promote even more and get this message across. That probably energetically connected to Ayahuasca Norway, the founder, and he then sent a message to me because now we were thinking about each other, and all of a sudden the path converges and you're on the way to a place where you can actually make some huge change because of that one thing. I took that one action to go to the school and see what the fuck could happen if I just did it. If I just went down there and see who can I speak to? How can I make this happen? This is what I want to have created. How can I make that happen? They don't know half of what's going on right now. Most people don't know anything about what's actually going on. We have a community. We have the website, we have a program, we have testimonials, we have people going through the program, we have people transforming their lives. And this is before we've actually gotten out there with the message. So really consider that. It is huge. It is so insane. And all of the whole procrastination, I would say, I think that everything happened exactly when it was supposed to happen. But right now I'm sitting with the key in my hand, and I've talked about this before. I cried on day 5. I pointed to my office for some reason. I cried on day 5 because I saw the reality of this, and it hit me so hard because it is my why. And now I'm going to create my why. Now I'm going to live even higher than I've been living so far. And that is just, it's huge. But I accepted back then it's day fucking 12. I accepted 7 days ago that I was going to do something about this. I was going to honor this, and I'm going to do something that is going to change my life. That's the point of the challenge, to be challenged. Here we are. This video is going to be a testimony that I'm going to look back at 5 years from now and just, holy shit, I remember that. Ooh, and this is what's happened so far. I mean, I can go back to my original challenge in 2018 and just go with the same thing. Holy shit. That guy did it. Now he's here. Holy crap. And we're still flying. That's insane. So, because of that, there's a few things that I actually want to point out. I'll leave you with. Now that you have gotten a little visual of what I'm trying to create. And that I'm saying a little visual. You have seen the top snowflake of Mount Everest so far. Which is insane because there are so many things that we're creating now. And everything is aligned with one vision of... I can't even go into it. But I need 250 million crowns, $25 million. We do that in several ways. We have a membership that is very cheap compared to what you're going to get, because we're going to teach you everything that you need to get completely free in your life. to learn the skills that you need, which is basically just following a recipe. And I'm going to facilitate whatever I can to the best of my ability, where I give you everything that you need to start. So there's no excuses. The only thing that you need is the willingness and the drive to actually do something to create that freedom. But that all starts inside of challenge.torseppola.com. In there, you're going to get access to the tribe, the challenge, all that stuff. So go there. This is one of the ways I'm going to materialize the $25 million I need. I also help people by coaching them. So, hook me up if you need to talk about how we can do that. Free. The first call is free. That's why there's a no-brainer behind it. Because if I can help you, my philosophy is I will change your life as much as I can. Which means that I will go out of my ways to change your life the first call. And I have many people who can talk about what could happen during one of these calls. It's insane. The first call, I'm going to change your life. And then I love to lead with the experience. So if you feel like after that you want to work more, hit me up. And then we are going to continue from there, but not before that. Then we have the retreats. That is also going to be a major income source to create this vision. Then I think there's probably a whole fuck ton of grants that I haven't even considered from the government and the state and all that stuff. Government and state, basically one thing. Good job, Tor. If you are looking at this and you're like, I know what to do in terms of that, hit me up because I have no fucking clue. As you know, I like to build the plane in the air. So that's what I'm doing. If you know anything about governmental grants, hit me up. Then we also have, for those people who just want to support the mission, torseppola.com/donations. In there, you can just do whatever you want. Buy me a coffee machine, or buy me a coffee factory. It's all up to you. But we're going to create this. It's happening right now. And with the support of you, we can make it happen so much sooner. I can promise you, because today, Marius came out of the hospital. Today, he's going to restart his life. Today, he's also going to start the path, because I'm not saying that I don't think I can talk to him today. I will talk to him today, but during this week, I will talk to him about psychedelics and psychosis, an extremely misunderstood concept within the whole mental health system. So we're going to talk about that, get some few insights from that. We documented the first retreat. We have testimonials and we have talks and we have all those things from before this happened, during how this happened, and after. So we have a lot of things that we have learned from all of this. Things that people who are funded by the government and are committed to doing research in this area are not privy to. Because if they focused on that, they were just going to create a whole gap, because so much of a psychic mental health branch of the whole institutionalized Norway is going to fall away, because all of a sudden people can actually get help and not just get the Band-Aid. That's insane. So I'm not going to talk too much about that, because I like my life. I would never commit suicide. See, that's what's crazy too. I'm not saying those things could be funny. I'm saying those things to document the fact that that's how I think. I don't like to think about ending this life, because this life is so freaking amazing. And I'm living the dream. And I want as many people as possible to do the same. And holy shit, the 15th of March, Stian is heading for the Amazon. I love your face. Take care of your freaking family. This was a good episode. Day of the life. I hope to see you tomorrow. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, share. All those things. Let's get this message out there. I'll see you for tomorrow. Have a fantastic one.